Hi, I'm Andrew Edwards, parent here at Cole Valley, and I am joined with Alan Howlett, Superintendent of Cole Valley Christian Schools. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm excited to be able to share just the state of the school as we talk about coming into 2025.
We got a lot of things to cover today.
Yeah.
All sorts of good stuff going on.
Good stuff.
Let's start out and just make it happen. We've got a new campus in the works, beautiful facility. What are the updates? Fill us in.
Yeah, no one ever has a question about that. So I think one of the things I can tell everybody, first, there's about 19 steps of things we need to get done to be able to get this campus. And we're on about number 17 of those steps. So latest is we finished construction documents. We're at the city with getting approval for all of our requirements that the city puts upon us. And now we are on the quiet phase. You guys have heard me talk a little bit about the quiet phase from fundraising. But we have good motion in that, good movement. Got a couple significant commitments at the end of this 2024 year, and we're right around almost $12 million toward our goals that need to be there. In the quiet phase, we need about 70% of our overall goal. Overall goal is going to be close to $35 to $37 million. And so we're almost halfway to what we would call is the silent phase. And so then step 18 would be the public phase of the event to be able to get the rest of the money. And what's really exciting is we know as soon as we get to that goal, it's only 22 months from the day that we can decide that to go forward. We've been working with banks and everything else. So it'd be 22 months from the day we're able to get that done to us getting to move into that building.
Super exciting. I know everybody that goes to the school can't wait for that new campus. So,
everybody, for sure.
What are some things that families can do right now before we move into that public campaign?
That's a good question. First, we need you guys' prayers and just partnerships on that. If you guys could do us a favor and champion the school out in the public. Right now we're working with strong abilities for people to give behind the scenes. One thing you guys could do is we need more positive reviews on Google and some of the social platforms. We have great reviews, but there's not a lot of them. And as large donors are looking at the school, it's important for them to see a large backing, which they can see digitally anymore. That's pretty much what people look at. So that's one thing I'd really encourage you to do. Also, that you would just keep partnering with those in the community. If you know people in the community would like to sow into this project significantly, please let us know as a team. This next year, we're actually going to be launching something new. We did great with a couple fundraising events this last year and hit some of our goals, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But we're actually going to transition to something that's called the Excellence Fund, the CVCS Excellence Fund. And this is an opportunity, and we're going to be asking everyone to consider this starting in February for everyone to be able to give into the school financially. And so instead of just asking for the end of the year, I've talked to a lot of people and they talk to me about the end of the year gift. They're like, we don't have that much we can really give for the end of the year. And just so you know, we had about 120 people give at the end of the year. But what we're going to be asking everybody is, so whether you can give $5 a month or $5 million a month, for everyone to consider to be a part of what we call is the Excellence Fund for CVCS. And so we'll be launching that this next month. And that'll be another way that we can really look at how do we fund excellence at the school. So when things and needs come up, how do we do that?
I love the concept of this Excellence Fund, and when we talked about it prior to recording this and prepping it, the theme was this allows the school to be able to say yes, right? When opportunities come up, the funds will be there, and then the school can say yes to those things, right?
Yeah. So anything, I mean, my goodness, certainly we always have facility needs and all those kind of things, but really we're looking at this fund specifically going towards how do we really impact kids' education? If we have a teacher that comes up with a phenomenal idea of how we go one step further, how do we do that? If we need one more thing to be able to add technology to an area, instead of continue to come back and forth and ask for people to give to that, can we fund it now and say yes when the needs arise?
Absolutely. And is it fair to think of this, almost like tithing at church, almost like a subscription service, making it very easy and simple for people to be able to donate on an ongoing basis?
Yes, certainly. I tithe to your church. All my pastor friends, keep tithing to your church. But what I would ask is you guys prayerfully consider what could we give on a monthly basis to the school and be a blessing to the school so they can use that as God is really directing us.
That's great. Next topic here, technology. I hear we've got a new website in the works.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about a new website. We've had some ups and downs with that. But I just had another meeting this morning regarding a new website. We've been looking at a lot of great websites throughout the country. Hired a company that's going to come in, and by the fall of this year, you guys will see a brand new website. August 1st is my goal, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to see that. We know we want to continue to mainstream our communication, information that's coming home to you guys, and we continue to get feedback that we want to get better and better at that element. It's going to be a lot better platform for any kind of social media ideas, as well as you'll be able to see the whole thing on your cell phone, which we think is really important.
And speaking of conversations, sounds like you're a busy man. So you're talking about website this morning, but I think you also just got off a call regarding a very hot topic in the state of Idaho and school choice. So,
School choice.
Yes, I know that's pressing for a lot of parents and wondering where that's going to go and what that's going to mean. So what do you know about it right now?
Yeah. So I just got off we've had a group that's been meeting for a couple of years, which includes a couple people in the legislators and heads of schools throughout the state, actually. In the next 2 weeks, you're probably going to see a bill that hits the floor that's going to be fairly similar to what we've talked about. And we think it's going to be more around tax credits. The parents that I've talked to that have concerns about this idea, I am with you. We want to make sure that this doesn't have ties onto it that is going to tell us what we should teach or how we should teach. And so we're working really hard to be able to have this come to the floor of the legislators so that it sits there and gives people options, yet does not tell us we can't teach our Christian values, who we are, or have any kind of legal things over us as a school. We want to stay clear and true to our mission and our vision. You know, I'm excited about the options where some of this tax money can actually go straight into the parents' pockets. And overall, I hope help us as a family. We're looking at some young families that are trying to come into our school, especially K-1, 2, that maybe don't have the same strong financial structure. And we really would love to see this help some of those families be able to get their kids at our school.
Yeah. There'll definitely be plenty more coming out on that. So, stay tuned as, we learn more and the bill moves through, or any potential bill moves through, but we'll definitely have more communication out on that. So this next topic, celebrations, we could probably be here for the next hour because there's so much good stuff going on. But give me some of the highlights on things that are going on that are worthy of celebrating.
Celebrations that I can think of off the top of my head, at secondary, most of you guys know we went up really 2 divisions, but it's a significant division for athletics. And it's been awesome to see that every one of our teams have been competing well and even doing postseason play for that. If you haven't got out and see both our girls or boys basketball high school, please do, because they're just doing a phenomenal job. Swimming did an amazing job. All of those are there. We had a great play at the secondary, as well as a number of community things that happened at the elementary in the fall. And I would continue to brag about our SAT scores. Our SAT scores continue to be significantly above state and national averages, and we continue to have, I think we still have 4 national merits that are sitting there for a school our size. I think that's amazing. The other thing I'd encourage, especially elementary parents that don't know a lot about our AP and dual credit classes, I really encourage you to look at the website, see what the offerings we have at the high school level, because there's amazing opportunities for kids to get almost a year and a half of college while they're still here in high school.
So as we move into the rest of 2025, what are some upcoming events that we got going on that everybody can look forward to?
Yeah, well, first, if you haven't already got your gala tickets, I think we already have 300 people to purchase their early gala tickets. That's coming up April the 5th. It is our 25th anniversary, and we're calling this year Jubilee or Silver Jubilee. So really love to have as many as possible out for the gala event this year. We also have a couple of mission trips, one to the Philippines and one to Mexico at the high school level this summer. And community events, we have a lot of those going on. There's the Daddy-Daughter Dance coming up, Mother-Son Game Night, God's Gifts Talent Show. I know they renamed it, so I had to make sure I said it correctly, at the elementary that's coming up. The CVCS Visual Arts Show, there's going to be a musical that the high school will be putting on in the fall. And I also encourage you, especially at the elementary, if you haven't been able to get over and just be a part of one of the chapels, make sure that you join one of those.
I have 2 daughters at the elementary school, and so I've got a busy social calendar coming up over the next month or so. Cannot wait for the Daddy-Daughter Dance and to your point, chapels are incredibly inspiring. It's super awesome to see. And yeah, it's just going to be fun heading into the spring. My oldest is, she'll be graduating from the elementary this year.
Coming up to 6th grade.
I'll need an extra box of tissues, I think, to get through that one. So
the great thing is she gets to come up and be here with Mr. Rex at the middle school. He's just a phenomenal principal. So.
She has a tour day as well on the calendar. So middle school tour day. She can't wait to go find where her locker's going to be and all that. So continuing, on this theme of some celebrations and growth opportunities, fill us in on the Flourishing School Survey.
Yeah, again, thank you. So many people turned in and did the survey. That survey information is so important for us to both get a gearing of what we're doing well as what we can continue to work on. A couple things, I'm just looking at my notes. Strategic planning and financial health was a strength that came up. Another strength we saw was Christ-centered education. In fact, parents, students, and teachers all alike talked about the importance of the Christ-centered education, and it's great for me to hear that we're actually partnering in the right way in that direction. We have an engaged community. We got a lot of positive feedback about how we're engaging parents and how we're allowing parents to be able to be engaged with the community that we have here. A lot of comments about how qualified our staff is and how they connect and care for individual students. We hear that not just in the survey, I hear that every time I'm in the community, and that's certainly one of those things we're really excited about. So those are a few of the things. Oh, one more strength that I saw in the survey was strong, transparent leadership. And I know you guys, especially working with the principals, know what a great team that I have, and I'm just excited about the leadership that we have. A few growth opportunities that we saw. The first one that jumped out glaringly was facility need, that we need to try to update. So thus we are trying to build that new building. And we know that right now there's some limitations with the facilities that we have. And so we're trying to go that direction. We continue to hear building on the consistency of student behavior in all classrooms. And so I know my vice principals and deans are meeting weekly almost to go through and continue to create consistency in behavioral expectations and how do we hold kids accountable. And then one of those that came out, one of the new surveys that you guys did was on faith. And one of the ones that came out to encourage was encouraging more family devotions. I know I spoke this at elementary Christmas programs, but I really encourage and challenge everybody. I don't care how old your kids are, even my early 20-year-olds. Look for opportunities to have devotions with your own families. The most important faith person in their life is mom and dad. And I think we're the ones that can most impact our own kids.
This morning actually was up early and I just reminded my daughter that she can do anything that she wants to, and she was like, "Okay,
yeah.
Why are you telling me that?" I'm like, "Just because,
just
those little reminders. You sprinkle them in every once in a while."
Well, and Dad telling her that's more important than almost anybody else telling them that. So this partnership is what's awesome because we get to echo what you guys are saying at home and vice versa. That's one of the things I love about this job, this school, and what we get to do.
Yeah. Fill us in a little bit on just the finances with the school and fundraising goals and just kind of where we're at there.
Yeah. So finances, we usually put out just a big overview of our finances, but right now we run at about $12 million budget. The budget, $12 million, pretty much all comes in from tuition and fees. Of that, $9 million of it goes directly to salary and benefits for staff. And we continue to push that as hard as we can to be able to be as competitive as possible with local school districts and stuff for our staff. About $500,000 of that goes to curriculum, and then about 1.8 for supplies, maintenance, and everything else. The other part that's real strong about our finances, right now we have about $4 million in reserve. A lot of that is part of us doing the fundraising for the new facility. We're able to put that aside and invest it right now as we have other monies that are coming in that I referred to as that $12 million. Much of that $12 million is promised but not actually given to us yet over the next 2 to 3 years. And so our financial situation is very strong there. Also this last year, between the gala and the end of the year, we hit all of our fundraising goals, and which is super exciting to me. But it was with a handful of people, which is, even as we're talking about that Excellence Fund, I'm really excited about transitioning to that Excellence Fund where we give everybody an opportunity. And instead of 10% of our population being able to give what they're able to, we can tie in the whole families and really give it in a missional way.
With hitting these fundraising goals, what are some of the awesome things that we get to do with that now?
super excited about what we get to do with the monies that we're given, especially at the end of the year. We're going to be able to add a number of water stations at the elementary school where they can fill up their water bottles with filtered water. That's a larger project than we thought it was, but especially with all the modulars, but that's exciting. For our security measures, we are going to be heightening the height of the fence that goes around the perimeter of that ball field on the backside. So that'll be something that gets started in the next month or so. And I know my facility and safety people are pretty excited about getting that done. On top of that, we'll be adding a whole new system for radios that we're going to be able to have two-way radios. We do have some now, but we've really been trying to update those, get them to function a lot better between the two campuses. And that's a system that we'll be putting in place really, really soon. Secondary, there's two big items that they're going to be doing. They're going to be updating the auditorium specifically. There's new sound equipment that's going to be coming in there, as well as a bunch of work that's going to be done on the deck, as well as the curtains and everything else. A lot of updates that old auditorium needs. Some of them are going to be done now before the musical, and some of those are going to be done over the summer. In the Commons, we've got a sound system that's going to be coming in, especially for middle school, so they can communicate to the young people in that area, because we haven't had that. We got a facility truck that we're looking at that's going to provide us with snow removal equipment to be able to use for both campuses. And we did already purchase a new van, but we're also going to get some wraps that go around those vans with some of our logos on it and stuff that we're pretty excited about.
That's amazing to hear. So as we wrap up here, last little topic around growth.
Yeah.
You know, the valley's continuing to grow. I just saw Boise was, I think, number 3 most desirable places to move to in the country, and it always seems to be at the top of the list. So as the valley grows, the school grows. So first, let us know who's new to the staff.
Yeah.
And then second, talk us through a little bit just how, Coal Valley is navigating that growth.
Yeah. So first, we're excited. We got to hire a new director of admissions who also is managing our marketing team, and her name is Sue Ann Skeen. Her husband's a lead pastor here in the Valley as well, and she's a parent of 2 high school kiddos, and so we're super excited to have her join our team. That's an easy answer, and we've got a few other positions, and we'll have some new being posted soon. But navigating the waters, in the last, 4 years, we went from 740 some kids to 1,340, another 600 kids. I've been fortunate enough to be able to run large schools in the past. So what we have geared ourselves toward is how do we continue to keep our mission and vision of who we are, keeping Christ the focus and centerpiece of this while we allow growth. And we want it to be healthy growth. We want to make sure that the families that are coming are a part of our mission and vision. So we take extra time in doing the interviews and making sure that these are families that fit within they fit within our own families. These are the kind of kids that you want your kids to associate with. These are the kind of families that you guys are going to church with. We want to make sure we're doing a really good job with that. Second piece of that is I do the final interview on every single staff member that we hire. And we do that so that there is a consistency, making sure that the heart of every person that comes in here, that their love of Christ and love of kids is their number one strength. And then, of course, we want them to be great at what they're going to be teaching or whatever they're going to be doing here. But those are 2 avenues that we've been. We've also been really making sure that we keep the classroom size small, making sure that each staff member has a chunk of kids, a small chunk of kids, that they can be in relationship with. And again, when both the survey as well as when I talk to kids, what they say to me is, because I'll ask the question, who's that one teacher you feel connected with? Who's that one staff member? And it's our goal that every single kid in our organization has a significant relationship with an adult that is impacting their lives. And I think we're doing a really good job with that.
Well, Alan, thank you so much for your time today. We've covered a lot on here, and I would encourage anybody listening to not simply just hear this and move on, but we're going to have links. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll have links for every single item that you touched on with some action items that they can go do. Will be linked below on this so you can actually go do something with it. And I just want to say thank you again for your time and everything you're doing for the school.
Appreciate that, Andrew. And thank you, families, for just being a part of this community of ours. We're excited about what God's got for the future. Keep praying, keep being partners with us. And we love you guys so much. So thank you so much for being a part of our family.